Hi guys, I made some extra review questions that you can do. So my suggestion would be copy the question, pause the video, then unpause or play, and see how I did it. Now remember, we might not solve things the same way, but the answer has to be the same. Okay, there's more than one way to solve a problem, but there's only one answer. Okay, so I'm going to solve for x. Okay, and that is terrible writing, but that says solve for x. Hold on, I just want to shut my door. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to move the b. So I'm going to subtract 2b, subtract 2b. That gives me 4x equals 6a minus 14b. You can't put a's with b's, they're not like terms. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. X equals 6a minus 14b over 4. Now, if you want, you could divide everything by 2 to simplify the fraction, but you don't have to. If you want to, you could do x is equal to 3a minus 7b over 2. But you can absolutely leave it like that. It's fine. Okay, so either answer. Okay, next question. The sum of 3 consecutive odd integers. So for odd integers, I'm going to say n equal first, and you can use n or x, it doesn't matter. Maybe I should type. Let me type. Goodness me. Sometimes technology just doesn't like me. I don't know why. I've always been very nice to it. All right, so I'm going to type. Let me just get a little bit smaller font. Okay, so I'm going to say n equal the first odd integer. And I'm going to try to spell right. And then I'm going to say n plus 2. So think about odd numbers for a second. If you started with 1 to get to 3, how much would you add? Yeah, 2. So for odd integers and even integers, you're going to have the same let statements because it has to do with like skipping over a number. So you have to add 2, add 4, add 6. For consecutive, plain consecutive, not even, not odd, you would just add 1, add 2, add 3. Okay. I know how to spell, I just don't know how to type. Okay. So sum, right here, sum means to add. So I'm going to add those together. So n plus 2 plus n plus 4 is equal to 45. All right. N plus n plus n, 3n. 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay. So if I subtract 6 from both sides, that gives me 3n equals 39. If I divide by 3 on both sides, that gives me n equals 13. Like the 13 because it's odd. That gives me 13 for the first. 13 plus 2 is 15. 13 plus 4 is 17. So the numbers are 13, 15, and 17. Okay, the perimeter of an equilateral triangle and the square are equal. The triangle has a side length which is 6 more than the side of the square. So this is going to be x plus 6, and this is going to be x. 6 more means to add 6. So there's 3 sides to the triangle, and there's 4 sides. That doesn't look like a 6, but it is a 6, okay, to the square. So 3x plus 18 distributive property is equal to 4x. Subtract 3x from both sides, and you get x is equal to 18. That's the side of the square. So the squares are 18. I'm so sorry about this not writing. And then 18 plus 6 makes these 24. Okay? Distributive property. 5x minus 15 plus 2x equals 20. Combine the like terms. 7x minus 15 is equal to 20. Add 15. 7x is equal to 35. That says 3. Divide by 7, and x equals 5. Again, just stop this when you see the new question. Pause, do it yourself, and then check. Okay, so dRt solve for t. So I want to get t alone, so I'm going to divide by r. T equals d over r. That's a d. Okay. What would be an appropriate domain for number of people coming to a party? Well, unfortunately, maybe nobody's coming. But maybe you have 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. So I would say whole numbers, positive, right? Positive integers, that would work. Whole numbers or positive integers. Definitely not negatives and definitely not halvesies. So don't say real or rational. Okay, say positive integers or whole numbers. Hopefully it's counting numbers. Hopefully at least 1 person comes. Okay. So I'm looking for the LCM of 4, 3, and 6. So 6 doesn't work for 4. 12, that's going to be the ticket. So I'm going to multiply everything by 12. 3/4 times 12 is 9, so that becomes 9 with an x. 1/3 times 12 is 4. 2/3 of 12 is 8, so that becomes 8 with an x. 1/6 of 12 is 2, so minus 2. Move the variables. Oh, that's nice, it's a 1. So x plus 4 equals -2. Subtract 4. So x equals -6. -6. Okay. I'm going to multiply everything by 5. Remember, you could also use the reciprocal. Okay. That gives me 2x minus 35 equals 5. Plus 35 plus 35. That says 35, guys. So that gives me 2x. Can't stand when it doesn't write nice. Equals 40. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and x equals 20. That says 20, 20, not 26, 20. All right. Okay. So if I have the same thing equal to the same thing, that's going to be infinite solutions. If I have the same coefficient of x or the same linear term but different constants, that's going to be no solutions. And if I have different amounts of x or different coefficients of x or different linear terms, that's solvable. So that's going to be one solution. And then I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. That gives me negative x plus 1 equals 4. Subtract 1 from both sides, negative x equals 3. Divide both sides by negative 1, x equals negative 3. And remember, you can check all of these. The best way to check is to take the graphing calculator and do store negative 3 store as x, and then type the left, type the right, and see that they match. All right, so this is just a little bit of extra review in case you were struggling. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me. Go back, look through your notes, look through the review sheet. One more thing to think about is, if you add a rational number and a rational number, you're always going to get a rational number because the set of rational numbers are closed under addition. Okay? If you multiply a rational number by a rational number, you're always going to get a rational number because rational numbers is closed. The question is, what happens with irrational and irrational? And that's an up in the air. You have to actually look at the actual numbers, okay? So when you're asked that, you can use Clojure to explain things, and you can also use your calculator. Remember, if the answer is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, that's irrational. Just a little helpful hint for your test tomorrow. Have a great night.